Tepsenuena Senuti Tiren Ishakanugu Kemet. Tepsenuena Senuti Tiren Ishakanugu Kemet. I was about to talk about some young black man. I think he's 19 years old, and that's in France, in the Paris outskirts. He was in a relationship with a lady that he knew from primary school, and she's of Berber origin, but many times people will label them and themselves. North Africans call themselves Arabs when really they are Berbers. They were just conquered by the Arabs, so they took on the language and the religion. So he was in a relationship with her. Hold on. Sorry, baby girl, was just troubling me a little bit. So they were in a relationship and they were about to get married. The family uh, couldn't take it, particularly the father, and the father encouraged the his son. I don't know if he had a few. I don't know if the young lady had several brothers, but it is reported by the news. It's called Le Parisien. It's reported that the father has encouraged the son to do something. So the brother of the lady who wanted to marry that guy. Now, by the way, the guy's father is from Ivory Coast. The mother's from India. So I saw the picture of the brother of the deceased, and when you look at him, you just definitely look black. You wouldn't really tell that he's biracial, but that's besides the point. Allegedly, it's because the family would not accept that this lady would not be with someone from Algeria, but we know the deal behind it. I'm pretty sure if the guy was from Morocco, it wouldn't have been a problem. So he stabbed the young black man and killed him. And that happened not long ago. I did not even hear about it, but a few people have talked about it on social media. So that's what I wanted to address. I wanted to talk about the relationship between Berbers or North African Muslims and um, Black African Muslims, because the racism is very severe, very serious, and everybody knows about it, but they're acting like, it's not an issue. So that being said, that's what I wanted to talk about. And then I came across this footage that I will share, and I might as well share it right now, actually. So let me share the screen now. This was in Texas. Someone called Roderick Brooks was killed by a policeman. Why is it not showing? Did I share the wrong one, didn't I? Yeah, I shared the wrong screen. Hold on.
Stop, man. I'm going to take you. Stop. Get on the ground. Get on the ground right now. Bitch. Why you taking me, oh? Bitch. Bitch, get on me, man. Fucking come down me, bitch. Fucking quit. I'm going to shoot you. Put that down. I will fucking shoot you. You gotta do. No, 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 no. Shoot, bitch. Shoot. Shoot, ho. Shoot. 10:35 shots fired.
And that's it. That's how he died. Now, you have some people who love to say that the policemen have dangerous jobs, so he was in a situation of danger or potential danger, so he was justified in his actions. This is very similar to another footage that we have seen where a black man was shot in the back of the head, and many people have seen and shared that footage. They were saying that he got hold of the taser, and there was a struggle for the taser. So the policeman just killed him in the, shot him in the back of the head. Uh, Roderick Brooks was killed by uh, Sergeant Garrett Harding, and okay, it's okay. I thought I've put Sergeant in the title, but he was shot in the neck. That's what is reported. I've seen a title where someone wrote that he was shot in the back of the head. Um, it's just a matter of detail, really. From the thumbnail, we can see at one point that the taser is on the ground. The taser could have been placed away, could have been pushed away with the hand. Some people might say, well, when you're in the heat of the action with the adrenaline and everything's going on, you might not think of doing that. You might have other priorities. It's a situation that could potentially be life threatening. Then one could wonder, wasn't it possible for the officer to shoot in the arm, in the leg? If you shoot someone in the neck, you ought to know you will most likely kill the person. And maybe he was not aiming for the neck. Maybe he was aiming for the back of the head. So these kind of things, unfortunately, happen on a regular basis, and it might keep on going, keep on happening. There's a few African Americans who went abroad and they claimed asylum because of this climate of police brutality. Some will argue that this video does not show a case of police brutality. We have seen that the suspect, he was suspected of having shoplifted and also suspected of assaulting either the person working in the business where the death is alleged to have taken place or somebody else. So we saw the chase, then he tased the suspect, and then he tried to probably handcuff or subdue the suspect. There's quite a few footage where we see Caucasian males with knives charging at the police, attacking the police with knives. And those guys are alive to tell their story. They did not get killed. When we have plenty of footage where black males are running away from the police and they get killed, walking away from the police and they get killed, handcuffed and they get killed. So I can understand if people try to get away from that country where most of the time there is no justice. This kind of activity happens too often. Now it is mentioned that the deceased was known, basically had a long criminal rap sheet. This is one thing that they say a lot in France when people get killed by the police. They love to highlight the fact though that those individuals were known, and you have to wonder maybe they know how to pick their targets. You know, they might think, well, we can kill him, and this guy is known. You know, he's been arrested a few times, he's been to prison a few times, so that's just his lifestyle that led to this. So it's very strange. Sometimes we have footage of Caucasian who don't have knives but weapons, you know, but they are alive to tell their story. And there's been some shooting or mass shooting also committed by non-blacks, and the shooters were apprehended and they have not been shot and killed. So this type of thing will not happen to the wealthy, to the celebrities, to the athletes. To most likely, it will not happen to people who live in suburbs. The people who live in, an average life, who live in area where people are not so wealthy, it is very common. So, as much as some people want to make justification for this type of activity, I don't wish for that to happen, but it might happen to them or their family members, and I think they will see things otherwise. I read that the family of Roderick Brooks stated that there was some editing with this video excerpt that we have seen, but I think we saw enough, to get a gist of the situation. Some people have mentioned having a land of their own on the American continent. I don't ever see any country giving out a part of their territory. So maybe one solution. So maybe one solution might be for people to relocate in a country where they will be safe, or at least safer. We have Sahih Hajo wrote, "Why are the Egyptians portrayed as Arabs, as Arab people, when in fact they were black? They might be portrayed as Arab people on reconstruction. Besides that, we have artifacts. Now, if you talk about movies, that's something else. You might be talking about movies, but we have original artifacts, and sometimes they are pale skinned, white skinned, like many statues that have lost their coloring. And I covered that many times because I've been going through many museums in many different countries. So if it's not artifacts that are so old, like 2000 BC, basically 4,000-year-old statues that have lost the original coloring of the red ochre used to portray some dark brown or black coloring, many times we see artifacts from what we call the late period, which is during the rule of the Macedonians slash Greeks, the Ptolemy dynasties of the dynasty of the Ptolemy. Ptolemy being a general of Alexander the Greek or Alexander the Great. And after the Greek rule, we had the Roman rule. So a lot of time you might come across some videos on YouTube where people make some compilation of these artifacts from the late period. It's like me showing you pictures of uh, individuals that run Australia. They will look no more different than British men. But we have the Aboriginals. The Aboriginals are the indigenous inhabitants of Australia, and their phenotype is not even close to the phenotype of the Caucasoids that are running the country now. So it's that simple. It's that simple. I have plenty of videos where we have depictions of ancient Egyptians, and they are clearly black in color or dark brown or just brown. Many times it's as if the older the artifacts are and the blacker they look. And it's not only the skin tone, but also the phenotype, the lips, noses. And sometimes we can see the hairstyle as well. So that would be my modest answer to this question here. So I'm about to go on with another live stream to touch on that person that was killed because he wanted to marry a North African lady from Algeria. Stay safe, stay healthy, and if I'm allowed to by the nature, I will definitely holler back at you.